the ladies coming through with the vibes. Because, you know, the men constantly disappointing. Don't believe in Indota because the ladies will make sure the job is done. Banyana Banyana winning the, the women's AFCON. Loving it. That trophy belongs to you, ladies. Yes.
The guys must also look and say, maybe we should also participate in this championship thing, this whole winning vibe.
Yeah, the winning thing. Maybe just stop there grooving. Put down the beer. Go to the gym. Pick up the water. Get yourself fit. Leave funny things alone. Focus on the game.
The only trophy they know is the buckets in the club that comes with the golden bottles.
With
Leave
the sparklers.
golden bottles, get golden medals. Okay.
Hey, that's not a win. That thing, the sparkler is not a win. What up, what up? What's hot? What's happening? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast.
Dessert.
My name is Miss Cosmo, as per usual, you know, coming to you live from within the vibes. Today I'm rolling with my main man, Moochie.
You already know what it is. Moochie for one, baby.
Moochie with the new Zazas.
Say the baby. New prescriptions is out. You know what it is. Nerd boys can see again.
Oh.
I can see clearly now. Hi, Miss Cosmo. Kanto ko na.
Ay,
This whole time, you're going to go. Kanto ang shame one. I'm
That's why I'm telling her.
I'm just trying to see. This is not a statement of anything other than eyesight.
Oh, really now?
I'm just trying to see.
How did you choose the frame?
I just like how it looks. It's
because
different.
I feel like your frame was your previous one was a little bit more modest.
It was a little bit more.
It's because Imalingenile, so you said.
No. I've just stepped it up in terms of style, really. You know what I'm saying? So I just said, let's go something a little bit more thicker on the outside that looks a little bit more, I'm gonna like character, something bolder. And you'll see my other pair when I wear that one as well. It's a little bit, it's more to my old style. But it's just, I just thought let's go with a different frame. So something black. That other one, the ones that I had were too light. I wanted something that complements. I wanted to be like all the black tones. Come on now.
You see what I have to work with. Anyway, we've had a really good week this past week. Shout outs to us, the podcast, because we finally got nominated for the DStv Content Creator Awards.
Absolutely, man. They made the announcement, last week, Thursday, at an event in town. They called a bunch of creators there, and they had their own criteria after people had submitted. Very, very important.
Submitted.
No one forces anybody, but you actually have to enter the award shows to get considered, and we were. So shout out to DStv Content Creator Awards. This is the first ever that they're having. So it's great to see all the content creators that came through to support. They were hashtagging, posting online, that went to the event. And I think the rollout, there's a lot of sponsors have come together to, inject interest and money. Some of these awards come with money. Some of them you have to enter still. Even you guys as viewers can win something. So go follow DStv Content Creator Awards on social medias. Find out what they're posting every single week. The awards are in September, but shout out to them for considering us and everybody else that we're nominated with.
Exactly. And just hit them up, tweet them, tag them on a post, tell them how much you love the podcast because you want us to win that award. I don't think we can be voted for this one. I think it might be a judge's one, but we'll find out the information. But nonetheless, just getting the nod is good enough for us. I think it also it shows testament to the fact that we've been consistent and we're still out here, So
absolutely, man.
Big ups to that. And of course, still speaking about big winners, the ladies coming through with the vibes because the men constantly disappointing. Don't believe in Indota because the ladies will make sure the job is done. Banyana Banyana winning the the women's AFCON award. Loving it. That trophy belongs to you, ladies.
26 years later, we're African champions again. Yo, Modisco.
Yes, courtesy of...
You know what I'm saying? Last time we won, Primo's dad brought it just to give you perspective. Primo's dad and the gents brought it home. And now it was the ladies winning it for the first time ever. And they're competing in their 6th final, guys. 6th final. It's 6th time lucky for Banyana Banyana. They've been to 5 finals prior to this. Really? In each of those finals, they've obviously lost. And now for the 6th time, they finally bring it out. Shout out to Desiree and the ladies for representing. It's really, really a big moment for them. They were playing in Morocco, of course, against Morocco in the finals. And let me tell you something. The atmosphere in that stadium was incredibly hostile. You know what I'm saying? When I tell you this was a hostile takeover, you must understand that the ladies went to war to be able to bring this trophy back home. So shout out to them and congratulations to the entire team. I know they're all ecstatic, can't believe it. We'll be pulling up at the airport when they land.
Yes, definitely. It's a big party. I think everybody needs to be at the airport. Everybody needs to be celebrating because we do have African stars. And this is a win not only just for this specific team that's playing, but as you mentioned, 6 times lucky. There's also all the previous players who've subsequently left the team who also need to kind of take this award for themselves because their drive and their passion to keep Banyana Banyana alive has gotten them to this point. The likes of Portia Modisa, you know, who everybody loves from her time when she was on Banyana Banyana. So I think we need to celebrate as a country as a whole. We need to give them their love. We need to give them sponsorship.
Absolutely.
Because, wow.
And they are getting a bit of a check from this. I know the prize money is somewhere near 10 million.
Yeah, but South Africa must also bring the prize money.
And the ladies' bonuses each from this winning the tournament is about 400,000. So it's not bad, but that's what we want to hear more of.
Yes.
Because not only will it change the complexion of the team, but from young players as well, women's football to be taken a lot more seriously and a lot more eyes on the screen so that all the support can go that way. But it starts with things like this, and hopefully now it sparks. You know, if anybody was losing a little bit of hope, even the guys, this is not just to inspire the ladies. The guys must also look and say, maybe we should also participate in this championship thing, this whole winning vibe.
Yeah, the winning thing. Maybe just stop there grooving. Put down the beer. Go to the gym. Pick up the water. Get yourself fit. Leave funny things alone. Focus on the game.
The only trophy they know is the buckets in the club that comes with the golden bottles.
With
Leave
the sparklers.
Golden bottles, get golden medals. Okay.
Hey, that's not a win. That thing, the sparkler is not a win. Okay, we want a trophy. We don't want something that's going to fizzle after 10 seconds of it being a light. Please. I beg of you. Gentlemen, follow to the ladies. Banyana Banyana, we love you. We support you. And they came through and they said, yo, Bobby Cooper needs a sync deal for that one.
She forgetting for swords.
Hey, Bobby Cooper, do the right thing. Make the right phone calls, baby girl. This is your time to make that deal. All right. So talking about, you know, things being a light. The roast of Khanyi Mbau.
Yeah, bro. The Comedy Central roast of Khanyi Mbau also took part last weekend on the Thursday. I was there with some of my people. Maybe wrote a couple of young something to contribute. As I always do, it's not the first
look
time.
Look at you contributing
every other
to the game
too. But that's a story for another day, that in-depth conversation. But rather the production itself, I thought went pretty well. You know, the live taping and what you guys will end up seeing is, of course, 2 different things, because you actually buy tickets, a combi ticket, to be a part of the audience. So you come to watch the show. It is taped, and then it'll be put on, I think it's coming out August 8th.
On Showmax.
On Showmax and on Comedy, on DSTV, of what channel it is. I think it's coming out on Comedy Central for you guys to go and see what went down that night. But Khanyi took a lot of hits.
Khanyi also made history. Is she not the first female to be on a roast?
She is, because it was Steve Hofmeyer was the first guy. And then we had Somizi, and then we had AKA. So she is definitely the first lady, African lady, to have her own roast. So it's a big testament to her and her history, how she entrenched in South African culture. Was her moment to shine.
I think she's the perfect person to have started with, because I think Khanyi is also one of those people who knows how to take a joke. I think she also knows how to take a hit, because her whole career she's been taking hits on social media. So now she's just like, hey, if I can get a bag, let's go.
The most important thing is that you take hits, but they never keep you down. You know what I'm saying? So there are people who've like been through a lot, but still managed to like find a lot of success through all the loud noise. So you must have that thick skin, and I think she probably has one of the thickest. But she took it very well. People who came through, Pops was the roast master. And I thought he did an incredible job as roast master. Biggest highlight for me.
I saw Robot Boy on stage. What was he doing?
Robot Boy was doing what his dad does.
What?
He was basically kind of what you call imbongi yaga Khanyi. When she was walking in, he came out and said, Khanyi Mbau. Mbau. So it was a very fun moment that people didn't expect to see. So yeah, he was out there as a bit of a surprise act to usher Khanyi in as she took her seat. And a lot of people, interesting people on the panel. Nadina Kai was on it. Seloma Kekangube was on it.
How does the panel get chosen? Because I think once some of us had seen the posters, we're all just like, okay, but okay, how's this one gonna work? And I know it's always a diverse panel.
Sure.
I get that. I think for me, I'm also just trying to figure out what the criteria is, or it's just one of those like, okay, we think he'd be dope, let's go.
In South Africa, I think we use a little bit of a different format because I think we just go for people who have big personalities, who are very famous, that are kind of known throughout the country. So everybody sees a certain type of person. Some of them may not be immediately inclined towards comedy. For example, Devi, who's part of the panel as well, is a presenter on Carte Blanche. So it's like she comes through left field, but let me tell you something, also delivered.
Yeah.
So it's surprising people a little bit as well with characters. Because usually in America, how it goes is that the person who's roasting has a big say in who must be on the panel, because you kind of want, it's the whole thing about letting your friends roast you.
Yeah.
Is how the original format used to go. So call your closest friends. Usually in America, you find that these people can call in their friends who are comedians or whatever, who can really, really hold it down. But also a few oddballs get thrown in there that aren't particularly close to the person who's getting roasted. So yeah, I think we mix it up in terms of how we put there. She definitely had a say in terms of like, I want this person there on this, because also you get to roast them back.
Yeah,
so like,
at the end.
Bring Miss Cosmo here. Just give me 10 minutes.
Just 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Say, hey, when I shot the boy.
So you're like, let's bring her close here so I can also contribute. So yeah, I think we just mix it up locally in terms of like who to have on the panel. But very diverse panel, very interesting. But I think there's something for everyone, at least I can say that.
That's dope, man. I'm keen to see how it actually all panned out, and maybe we'll try and pick out where Sipo's lines were kind of thrown in here or there. I don't know. We'll obviously check that out on the 8th of August. It is going to be out on Showmax. More in the business of people doing things. Boity has been teasing us for the past couple of days and weeks about a big brand that she's going to be dropping. And she finally made the announcement on Friday. She is dropping a hairline. So for her, she understands that, you know, where the money's at with the weaves, with the things, with the ladies, because the ladies will spend all of their money. All of those e-wallets that you guys keep sending every month. Don't worry, e-weave ya mieza. So Boity saying, hey ladies, here's a new range and you can check it out.
Sending e-wallets now. I think Boity, what she must have, she must have a line that progresses in pricing. She must have a starting package, Wanako High. She must have the Wanako High weave. You know what I'm saying? Then she must have a Wanako Klabung weave. Then she must have also Berekang weave. You know what I'm saying? It must have different prices. So it must start Wanako High for like, oh, humble.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Wanako Kasing.
1 point something.
Yeah.
Just to say.
But now
that way you must come close to see. You must that one from afar.
I was about to say, manje quality, Yona.
Yeah, it must that quality from fair. Like that girl, I think that weave looks nice. When it gets closer, you're like, But I'm just thinking it's fair.
No.
Everybody must be able to taste nice things. Mustn't be exclusive.
But that's the thing. No, the quality must still be the same. I actually love the idea because the quality must be the same. Because the lady Wanako High must be able to have a quality weave, even though she's paying just a little bit less. You know what I mean? As long as it doesn't burn with the sparklers,
yeah, exactly. I'm not saying she must wear a skirpot. I'm not saying let's start there. I don't want the FMCG wig. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying I think it would be nice for her to like give really good quality, but also affordable. Because I feel like there's a market there.
There definitely
is a market for all the ladies that are buying 10,000 Rand weaves and plus. You know what I'm saying? They're there and they'll support your business. But I feel like how much more could you grow if you literally were to target that very, very niche people, those under 5,000 weaves, where someone can be like, wedding, I can jump in here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Graduation, I can jump in here.
And the thing is, you can maintain very well. If you can actually like buy a really good one, you can maintain it over and over, even if you've paid about, I don't know, 2K for it. You know, it's all about the maintenance with weaves and wigs. So big ups to Boity and her new brand collaboration for that one. And, you know, we're hoping to kind of see how this business venture for her is always going to work. You know, Boity is always willing to kind of get her finger in all of the pies. So shout outs to her for doing that one. This past week, of course, in celebrations, we were also celebrating the late Riky Rick. It was his heavenly birthday on the 20th of July. He would have turned 35. Which is a milestone birthday. But yeah, everybody was celebrating in this past week, whether by way of either taking pictures or just posting or just reminiscing. There was a dinner that was done for him this past week with his family and his close friends as well. And I think it's also just, you know, testament to, it's been like a tumultuous year. Like, I think looking back, you're just like, how am I celebrating this guy's birthday without him? You know? It
seems all surreal still to this day. And you can see even anybody's posts when people speak about him, just like they did on his birthday, everything feels like it's happened yesterday.
Yeah.
It feels like he's still around. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I can still feel Ricky's energy.
Yeah.
Every time I'm on social media, I don't feel like, hey, when's the last time I saw? When's the like? I'm starting to forget him. I feel like his presence is still very much felt, which is just a testament to the type of person that he was. I think we'll continue to celebrate him in many different ways, whether it's on his birthday, on album drop days, and all the other special days that he's had with people. I think you'll see quite a lot of that happening. And of course, they reopened the Legends Barber at not Mall of Africa,
Waterfall Corner.
Yes. Waterfall Corner, they reopened it on his birthday as well, just to commemorate and to rebring that spirit. So go out there and support if you're trying to get a haircut, or even if you just missed the homie, you just want to pass by and support, please do.
Yeah, man. So happy birthday, Riky Rick. We still love you. We're still thinking of you. All right. So we are also then checking out people who are making big moves, and Coke Studio is back. And you know what they do every year, they always bring certain artists together to kind of make collaborations, different music that you wouldn't necessarily put together. And it's interesting to see that they've brought in the likes of Focalistic, DJ Zinhle, Major Steez, Amaroto, we've got Loyiso, the vocalists. Yo, that guy, he just makes...
Loyiso is absolutely brilliant.
He gives me the goosebumps when he sings. Shout outs. Shikolat is also there, and they've just partnered for a new season. So I'm excited to see the type of music that they're going to bring out, you know?
I'm very excited. I like the last collaborations that they had, especially that Nasty C song with, who's in Nigeria guy? Not Stony Boy? Up on the... I know. I think let's check the lyrics more.
His name is Yana, for goodness.
I remember when it wasn't easy.
Yes.
You know that jam?
Yes.
I forgot if they do this, but I really like that song.
Yeah.
And that was a product of that Coke Studio collaboration. Fusing different artists together to see what they can come up with is always something dope.
Wasn't it Runtown?
Runtown, 100%. It was with Runtown. So bringing guys together, I know we're already now in the business of big collaborations across the African continent especially. So I'll be interested to see what they can do with, hey, can a Focalistic and a Loyiso get in studio together and give us magic? You never know. So this gives us that opportunity to see guys coming up with something new with somebody who maybe wasn't on the high list of people to collaborate with. Now you're saying, let's open up our minds a little bit out.
Yeah, maybe Foka will give us a hip-hop song again. We can only wish, we can only dream.
Maybe it'll be a response.
Yeah, response.
How rap you wing? How rap you wing?
Hey, let's go. Oh, goodness. You can always depend on hip-hop to give us some drama. All right, talking about drama. Hey, last week, social media was saying, is this event going to happen? Is this thing going to continue? And guess what? It did.
Not only did it continue, but it rocked.
Yeah.
You know, you look at pictures the next morning and you're like, yeah, I made a mistake not going to this place. Yeah. And of course, we're talking about Scorpion Kings Live, DJ Maphorisa, Kabza the Small, and a host of anyone you could imagine who have collaborated with over the last 2 or 3 years, all gracing the stage in Pretoria at the Sun Arena, of course. Absolutely brilliant show from what I could tell. I wasn't there, but from people who went there, and a couple of my friends did, and they're just like, they still haven't been able to put it into words of how much it was. My biggest regret was always not being able to hear Mpimbini live. I'll regret it until my last day. That was always my dream. I was like, Sun Arena, Mpimbini will play, and I will transcend into heaven.
And then you will be done.
And I'll be done. I would have known what it's like to truly be loved.
Were you worried that it was going to be cancelled, like the threats?
I wasn't. Some threats, you can just see them online. I want... you understand the guy's angry, but we're just like, you see now, this thing is bigger than you, it's bigger than us, my brother. And it continued. But really, really dope event at the Sun Arena. And I just thought to myself, man, just look at these guys, DJs.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, like I said, they're collaborators and everything. Just to see Maphorisa come out and to hold that mic, you know what I'm saying? Then come back at the decks and to see people's reactions to all this. To see Bob Dali Wonga on stage.
Everybody.
Dali Wonga is the Amapiano Asha.
Of course he is, because they're topless. Why are you topless? Because you can. Shout outs to you, Dali Wonga, because you can. So apparently everybody who went out, I also wasn't there, unfortunately, I had to work. But people did say that the people who had collaborated with Scorpion Kings, everybody, if they had a song with you, you are coming to Sun Arena, you are jumping on that stage. Can you imagine how electrifying that is? You know what I mean? Where you're just like, yo, I made this one song, it might have happened ages ago, maybe on the first album, you're coming back, you're gonna be on that stage. So yeah, man, it's dope to kind of see live performances again, especially because now we're back outside. But it also kind of brings a little bit of a thought to me as well about how this event was finally successful. But initially when they wanted to do it, it had been cancelled because of COVID. There was various reasons, obviously because of numbers, restrictions, all of that stuff, that they couldn't continue with the event. Even though I do feel like it's actually better that it happened now, because I think the catalog is so much better now.
Of course.
So maybe it was, it was written in the stars that they needed to postpone it. But talking to the fact that it was cancelled because of COVID, it also kind of makes me think about how a lot of things had been ruffled because of COVID, and how a lot of artists had to sit back and cancel things or postpone things or lose money because of an event that they had possibly even planned. Remember, Cardi B was even supposed to come to South Africa.
Absolutely.
So certain things had to be cancelled. People had been paid. People were hoping to work at that event. People were hoping to work at Scorpion Kings, the first one, and that had to be cancelled.
Yeah.
And how it kind of just shakes up the way that you look at things and how you plan things and how you work ahead, especially as an artist in South Africa. Do you think that artists are actually sitting back and paying attention to situations like this, where one day things could just turn and they maybe haven't planned financially for it?
I think now more than ever they are. I think at first we can all be guilty of saying, or sometimes you take things for granted, especially when you're busy. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, you could lose a gig here and there, but you're like, the work just keeps coming on. So if you're a busy creative, maybe it's not top of mind. But what we definitely know about the creative industry is that it's erratic. The earning is erratic, just like the spending is erratic. So we know that one day you could be at the top of the mountain and the next day tumbling down because so many things got cancelled. And now I think because of the pandemic, people are in the right mindset to actually sit back and think, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through what I went through before. And I'm speaking specifically to creatives in the entertainment industry as a whole, from freelancers, writers, producers, directors, musicians, everybody who works on a contractual basis, you know what I'm saying? And you know that gigs get cancelled, you know that yourself. Not just during a pandemic, but any weekend. It could be weather, and then suddenly you can't be there anymore.
It could be gigs cancelled. It could also be, we travel so far for a living. It could be anything from a car accident. It could be anything from you even breaking your arm, doing something, I don't know. You could be playing sports on the weekend. Now you can't DJ because, you've got a cast on. Like, weird things can happen in your life where you're just like, okay, I need to now step back now because I can't make money this weekend.
Absolutely. And that's why, as you've seen at the opening of the show, that we did partner with Bidvest Live on this episode, just to speak more about actually how can people who earn the way that we earn protect themselves a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because Bidvest Life does have this salary cover insurance where you can take it out and really be able, or income protector rather, to really protect your income as a freelancer. You don't need a pay slip that comes in every month. You don't need anything that 3 months bank statement. You only need to show that you're somebody who earns money periodically as a freelancer. And then they take that amount and say, okay, how can we be able to help you when the pandemic like this happens, to be able to protect yourself so you can get money every month. I can make an example about Lyra, for example, you know what I'm saying, who we know suffered a stroke while performing in Germany a few months ago, and is now in recovery and is positive about the fact that she'll get back on stage. If you're a freelancer, for example, and something like that happens to you, if you're Miss Cosmo, who needs her hand to DJ, and tomorrow she breaks it and she has to cancel gigs, what this protection does is that it gives her a monthly X amount of what she earns every single month until she recovers. And if she never recovers, until the day that you retire or until the day that you die. This protects you. It's literally that simple. It's
so simple. And funny enough, I actually have this policy with Bidvest, and when I was looking around for it, because I had also gotten to a point where I was obviously in and out, but I had to have a very big operation some years ago. This is way before COVID, and I knew I was going to be out for the count for about 2 months. I was so thankful at the fact that I actually had this cover, because it was able to cover me for those 2 months, not working and sitting at home. And then you say, debit orders don't stop just because when you are sleeping, So that was the tricky part for me. So I was thankful that I had this. Also, when you are investigating, you realize that Bidvest is the only one that actually covers creators. That covers the creative industry. And that's why we also kind of highlighting this specific product with them, because it's something that's so important that I don't think a lot of artists think about. They're always thinking about what's happening tomorrow, where we're grooving, where we're having a good time. Take a portion of that money and put it aside, because it is important, as Sipo had mentioned. And even outside of missing gigs, or even outside of a COVID, an accident could easily happen. Like I said, we travel all the time. We're in cars all the time. And I think we do need to kind of sit back and think about where we are placing ourselves in our future. Instead of buying that luxury bag when you're dropping 50K on that,
Yep.
just even a fraction of that bag can
Absolutely.
save your life. Trust me when I say this. And just little things, even like medical aid, just guys, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I think COVID was testament to that, you know?
Yep.
But just to get into a little bit more details on exactly what we are doing with Bidvest with regards to the specific product of the income protector, Sipo's going to have just a young chat with...
So myself and Zanele are going to sit down and have a little bit of a chat and go a little bit in depth so we
Yeah.
can take you guys through the steps so you can understand exactly what it is. Insurance, no. Come back to us with everything that's happened. I think it's worth your time,
Yeah.
especially if you're a creative watching right now to figure out, I'm sure they're not talking to me. I'm sure they're talking to people who have jobs. No, we're talking directly to you.
Yeah.
So let me chop it up with Zanele a little bit further so you guys can get a little bit more in-depth knowledge about this Bidvest Live product that we're partnering with on this particular episode. What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Now, I know earlier on in the show, you guys have been hearing us speak a lot about insurance, talking about cover this, cover that, and I know some of you are a little bit lost and wanting a little bit more information. And no, insurance. What are you trying to sell me the funeral cover? Relax, sit back. We're about to get into a little bit more details about what we've been touching on throughout the show. I do have somebody very special sitting right next to me, and it is Zanele, who is the CMO here at Bidvest Live. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Nice to see you.
Fantastic. Now, Zanele, I'm going to ask you just to introduce yourself to our audience. Let them know what it is that you do at Bidvest Live before we get into a little bit more of the nit-grit of what we've been speaking about today.
Okay, so Bidvest Life is a life insurance company, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer. I'm responsible for our marketing, brand, and communications overall for the company.
Fantastic. Now, as I've said, we've touched on a few things throughout the show. Ms. Cosmo has told you guys that she has this Bidvest life insurance, and you're probably wondering what it actually is about. Is it just a regular insurance that you take out like you would any other one? I would say absolutely not, because something very special that we've come to learn about Bidvest life insurance is how it is very much tailored, especially for freelancers. And we know a lot of you on the audience are freelancers coming off the back of the pandemic. People did suffer a lot of losses, and we've always asked ourselves, or always feel as if we're outside of the industry every time it comes to, let's say, insurance. Can you please just, Zanele, go into a little bit more detail about how this insurance, especially for freelancers, is welcoming?
Cool. So I think this particular category is called income protection. Mm-hmm. So it's basically insuring your salary or insuring your income. Not many people are familiar with it. I mean, yes, you've heard about the SC funeral, you know about medical aid, life cover, but not many people are aware of the fact that you can actually insure your salary or income so that if it happens that you land up in hospital for whatever reason and you're out of play for a few days or weeks, or you injure yourself, you end up being disabled, or even you pass on. Basically, the insurance pays as a monthly outcome of whatever you earn. That's the essence of it. So we're big on avoiding lump sums, but rather of insurance that actually pays monthly.
Right. So it comes back to what you're saying about salary. It's protecting your salary, not giving you a one-time off payment, but actually keeps you working. So let's make a practical example here. Let's go back to the beginning of the pandemic. I'm Sipo. You know, I'm a creative. I work in production. Pandemic comes through. It says, oh, we're shutting down all production jobs. And I have signed contracts 6 months or ahead. And I have an X amount of money that I'm going to earn. Let's say, for argument's sake, it's 200,000 Rand that I'm looking to earn over a period of a few months. The pandemic comes, all those things get canceled, jobs get pulled back. Now, how is Bidvest Life come into effect here to help me personally?
Right. Let's say Sipo in that period unfortunately contracted COVID. He was taken into Morningside, also was in the queue, finally was put into a hospital bed, and he was there for 2 to 3 weeks trying to get better. In that period, Sipo was basically able to put in a claim to get his income protection to pay out.
Right.
And the income protection would have paid what he insured of his salary or income. And basically any other costs that he couldn't cover, let's say out of hospital, he's able to use this money that he's earning to basically keep him going and earn a salary. That's essentially what it is.
Fantastic. So now, because I mean, our earning as freelancers is erratic. So where do we start even trying to come up with an amount of how much do I insure? Because this month I can make 1,000 rand, then next month I make 100,000 rand.
Yeah.
So how does it work in terms of like, I'm trying to take out this insurance, but I can't, what's a ballpark figure now of where I'm going to land and how much I'm going to insure, considering my earning potential is technically unlimited?
So the earning potential of what we do as a company, we look at 12 months, your historical last 12 months where you earned.
Yes.
And we'll take all of that you earned, and then we'll average it out. So let's say obviously some months you had something, some months they weren't, whatever, and we end up landing at 30,000 is the average that you have. And that's the amount we're going to use. So when you're sitting with your advisor, think of it from the 1,000 rand of what you're earning up to 30,000 as a bar meter. Your advisor gives you the first quote, and that time you guys agreed on insuring 80% of your salary.
Right.
And you say, Ish, but that premium is a bit high, can we get a bit lower?
Okay.
Then the advisor says, okay, let's move it down to 50% of your income out of that 30,000, which is the 15,000. You agree, you're like happy now when you see your quote for the premium, and that's what you cover. 50% of your income is what you'll be paid out.
All right, fantastic. So it keeps it realistic in terms of like, yes, you're spending or you're earning maybe erratic, but at the end of the day, there has to be some sort of barometer to say, okay, last year you made 100,000. So you're going to insure that for 100,000, or could you insure more than what you've earned in the past?
No, because as I said, we're going to average it out. Same with if I'm earning X amount salary per month, that's the cap. That's the end of what I can insure.
All right.
Okay.
So there's a maximum cap of how much each person or just in general you insure?
It's basically the cap of what you as an individual are insuring. So hence why with you as freelancers, we would basically take the full 12 months and then average it out to find what is the average amount you basically are earning, and that is then the cap.
All right, because the first thing that people ever hear that aren't employed about insurance, they're not gonna about a pay slip, they want 3 months bank statement, they want all these things that immediately deject everybody to say, now I'm the freelancer. They say these are for working people about 9 to 5. I'm sure when I get there, there's gonna be problems somehow, and I'll be chased out. How does it work now in terms of what do people need to submit? The freelancers that are at home listening now, but okay, I think I'd like to take this insurance out. But again, when it comes to paperwork and it shows my erratic spending, I don't want to feel like I'm being pushed out. So what is it that you guys are going to be looking for me to submit now?
So, I mean, you've kind of got to take a step back, and it's basically any evidence that shows in the past 12 months, these are the kind of jobs. Invoices, but those would probably need to be backed up with your bank statements if you could get the past 12 months, because then you are able to highlight, these are all my jobs, or any invoices for all the jobs, showing that these have been paid by basically all these suppliers to me.
Fantastic.
Then we take that as the proof and evidence of what you've earned in that period.
All right, I get it now. Because I'm trying to make sure that the guys at home, I know they have questions. People only want to ask, I just don't want to send something there and then to find out what no, we're not talking to you. Because we are talking to everybody who's listening right now. Now, I know you also cover students.
Correct.
And now how does that work? Because students pretty much earn pocket money.
So, I mean, whether it's the student paying or parent paying for the student, but essentially it's we pay up to a certain amount, which is a standard for students. But if you're already in varsity and let's say you're studying to be a doctor, I as a parent, I may decide to take cover for you, or you're the student, you can take out cover. And we basically have an amount that we specify that, okay, that's the maximum we can pay for you. And you've got that cover essentially as a student. So I can share a bit of a story around a policy holder. I think it was a student, unfortunately was in an accident, maybe got a groove or whatever was happening. Unfortunately was in an accident, and that has left the person kind of injured for a lifetime.
Right.
That student as a policy holder is being paid an amount each month until they retire. The age of retirement or death, whichever one comes first. But I think what the whole point of that is the fact that if that parent hadn't taken out that, or if the student hadn't taken out that policy cover, imagine the cost that parent would be carrying.
Of course.
You know, so that's the essential. So the student can maybe still carry on studying and still have a qualification, but at least there's something of, if they're going to be I'll use another example actually. There's a journalist for a particular radio station I spoke to recently. And she actually used to be a soccer player at school, and she was in provincial level and so forth. She unfortunately was in an accident, and she's disabled. So she's in a wheelchair. And when I explained to her the cover, she's like, flip, I could have had this when I was in varsity.
Absolutely.
Because journalism was not my first choice. it was to be eventually a soccer player. This was a backup. That's why I was at varsity and so forth. So had she had that would have still been paying to this day to her as an adult, over and above what she's earning today as a journalist.
Oh, wow. And I'm glad that you're getting into practical examples. I just want to touch on a couple because like I always say, people at home just want to hear, this person went through this. It sounds like what I went through, so I know that Nami, I'll be safe. I know recently a local musician, Lyra, had whilst performing in Germany, had a stroke which affected her vocal cords. They say she's in recovery right now and that it's not all over, and then over time that she wishes to get back onto the stage. Now, in this practical example, basically what you're saying is that she had taken out this insurance, or anybody in that similar situation, they'd be covered until they make a full recovery, or how does it work in this instance?
Correct. So something like a stroke would be treated as what we call income protection, but also we have something else called critical illness, which is where we pay an additional 30% over and above that income protection. Yes. So there's basically two benefits that are running simultaneously. On top of that, we still give a bit of a top up to help a person ramp up their home, get you to places where you need to get to, up until her recovery. So it could be 2 or 3 years, 4 years, but she's got an impairment that we don't know if it's gonna be short term or long term. But each month she would be earning an income from us, basically.
Fantastic. And I know you guys have a very high payout record in terms of like your claims. Some insurance companies, like I said, they give you a lot of problems, but I know you pride yourselves as part of your marketing tool to say that you pay out over 80 or 90% of your claims. Yeah,
we pay out 92%. The other from our last stats, the other 8% that we didn't pay out, those were basically couldn't be justified, fraudulent, and what have you not. But what I think I want to highlight from payouts is also from people who pass away. So you'd have your lump sum for like life cover.
Yes.
In this case, Nyazi Nonke is Abantu Bakithi that we may have 5 or 6 other people I am maintaining with 500,000, 400.
Of course.
When you use an income first approach, you can rather structure your life cover to be a life income cover.
Right.
So Mina, I've got it all set up. I've got my stepdaughters. I've got Abo aunt, Abo uncles. It'll stay exactly like that. It'll pay out my salary, not a lump sum, a salary that is divvied up already, so that to auntie and Akubeg to get that income. My stepdaughters to carry on getting that income, and I would specify and say, I'd like my stepdaughters to keep getting that income up until they reach the age of 40.
Right.
Auntie, until if death comes first, or retirement.
Okay, now that's very, very comprehensive. I think, thank you so much actually for clarifying that. I think guys that are listening at home now, if you didn't know before, now you know that we're not talking to some of you, we're literally talking to all of you. Whether you're employed full-time, whether you're part-time employed, whether you're a student, whether you're a freelancer, this is something that I rate you should be looking into. Like we've said many times on this show, being out in the entertainment industry especially, because we know that a big part of our audience is not always guaranteed with jobs, with the examples that we've given you. So I would encourage you guys to take a step back and say, Siporexa insurance, or Siporexa surety, or Siporexa. I'm just giving, we thought to get practical on this episode today, we must give you guys actual information of how you can protect yourselves. Because the worst thing that we always speak about on the show is how people get cheated out of contracts, how people lose their jobs, how people get promised X amount of money only to lose it all. And entertainment industry, especially in South Africa, we know we always don't hear from some certain artist for 10, 15 years, and then about this person is dying broke, is doing this, is that, because they never had the information that we're disseminating to you guys right now. So we hope that anybody who's listening at home, especially who's a creative, that you do look up this information. It's all in our bio. Click the links there, find out more, comment down below and let us know what you think of this segment. Ask more questions. We'll send them to Zanele. I'm sure she'll reply with more answers and we'll be happy to. Thank you so much for joining us, Zanele. Any last words for our viewers at home?
I think if anyone wants to watch videos from other different policyholders who explain from their side, just visit our website, www.bidvestlife.co.za. And thank you so much for your time. But I think your industry is just as important as any other industry, quite frankly. So thank you.
Thank you so much for saying that. So much love coming from this side. That's our show this week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's the POPcast. We out.
What an in-depth chat, man. I know there might have been a little bit of, just some jargon, some conversation that needed to happen. But I really hope that you guys kind of took in a little bit of that knowledge and that conversation that Sipho had with Zanele. I think it is something that you could just consider. We're not trying to sell you something. We're just saying, think about it as a creative in this industry, how important that is for you, because, hey, man, you never know what could happen.
Rather stay protected
Exactly.
than take chances out here. Like I said, all the links are in the bio from the chat that we just had and directly to the site. So you guys can ask any questions in the comments. We can get the guys to come answer. If anything is unclear, but I would say just look into it, see what they offer. I mean, the covers start from as little as 100 Rand, like we said. So I would say it's worth your time.
Yeah, man, check that out. All right now, we are going to check out what's hot and happening with the hot new music that dropped this past week. All right, so we've got 3 big drops. We do have Miss Nadia Nakai featuring Lucas Raps, DJ Slick, Not the Same. I'm waiting for you.
You know what? I was just thinking of this. I wasn't trying to be dramatic.
Yes.
I heard the jam. I thought the jam was dope. I like the beat of the song a lot. That's a very, it suits Lucas Raps, I would say, a lot.
Yeah.
It's got that, I don't know what to call it, a trap type of beat, but it's got a nice fast-paced beat that I like. Lucas Raps sounds very natural on it. Nadia sounds dope as well. I thought it was like a fun party track that they're having, her featuring somebody who's more onto that kind of hype type beat. But I like it, I thought the jam is dope. Probably grow on me over time. I thought Lucas sounded very, very dope on it.
Yeah, man. I mean, with the song, Nadia Nakai is coming through with the flavor. Something that reminds me a lot of what she did on Namin. That energy that came through like, yo, I'm owning this and I'm coming through and I need you to understand that I'm not the same. That's why she is titling the song that. And, it's dope to kind of see her still coming through with her hip-hop vibes, because for her, she's just saying, yo, this is my lane and I'm going to stick to it. Lucas Raps, like you said, he's sounding very clean on this tune. So, yeah, man, check it out. I think it's a dope song and she's definitely going to tour it for the summer.
No doubt about it. Shout out
Yeah,
Nadia
man.
Nakai. DJ Slick.
DJ Slick is on the tune as well. Yeah, I think.
And Lucas Rap is probably in production.
Yeah.
Shout out.
All right, Blackie, Reese, Sneaky dropped this past Friday. It is part of Blackie's For Love Deluxe album, which is going to drop in August. Blackie's always strategic about how he drops his music. The For Love EP dropped just in time for Valentine's Day. Now he's dropping the Deluxe, I think just in time for Women's Month, because he's saying he's doing it for the ladies.
I love it. And they did make it very clear. I mean, we know there was a lot of love songs on there, and they're continuing with that slow pace. The song that he has with Aries is very, very dope. Happy to see Blackie diversifying the people that he's collaborating with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's basically going around and he's plugging himself with so many other people. And each person comes in and sounds very natural on this. Him and Aries have thought complemented each other very well.
100%.
As you know, Aries, he knows how to keep it with the raps. He also knows how to slow it down just a little bit, because his voice sounds, it has the different pitches. And in this song, he slows it down a little bit. Sounds very smooth on the jam. And I can see, the boys are having fun.
Yeah,
very,
man.
very dope track.
And that's what I dig. I think why I appreciated that Blackie knew to actually get Aries on the song is because Aries knows how to make a really dope love song.
Yeah.
There's some artists where you can get them and you be like, you see, you're going too hard now. You got to come in smooth when you're talking to the girls, So I think Aries knows how to get into that pocket of doing a really dope, slow jam, but also, still keeping his cadence and doing his thing with regards to the raps. I dig the song. Sneaky's out. Check it out. Blackie, of course, 100%. And apparently his performance at Scorpion Kings Live also was just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I
think they shot that about that Scorpion Live. Like a live
if
DVD.
if they didn't record it, they'd be stupid. They'd be stupid not to do that, because they must have recorded it so they can continue and sell that and DVD, bus DVD, 110%. Okay, all right. Somebody else who dropped the song this past week is Bobby Cooper, and the track is called Mama. And on this one, she's I think Bobby Cooper in the beginning was just a little bit like nervous, like, okay, let me sing, but let me not take it all the way through with my vocals. She's intentionally decided to go in and get a vocal coach and choreography and work on her skill and work on her craft. And you can hear that a little bit more on this tune as well. She's definitely progressed a little bit more with her voice. And she's coming through with the fire, man. I'm loving her energy. Shout outs to Bobby Cooper, man.
Shout out, Bobby. I like what you just said now, her progression. Because she's somebody who we've spoken about before as having come up on the internet.
Yeah.
People just met her as a TikToker dancing. It's like I'm on pair, like we just Before we heard her, we saw videos of her trending where she's just dancing. So you get put into a box immediately, and then you must come on. Getting out of that and telling 10 people I'm more than just a dancer, I'm a performer.
Yeah.
I'm more than just, girl dancers on TikTok. I actually have aspirations of being a musician. And coming through and having success with that is dope. When she taking it seriously that way, to getting like vocal coaches, and you can see her production quality going up, her show performance quality going up. Off the bat, I think she will have a very long career if she continues to grow in the way that she is and to be as focused. Now, that's what I love about the young artists these days. Now that they've seen the older guys' mistakes, when they come through, they know how to own the internet and how to be a holistic artist in terms of like not just offline, online as well, not just in studio, but on stage at the same time. So they're coming through and they seem to be understanding and surrounded by people who have big dreams for them. So yeah, shout out Papi Cooper and the team, man.
Hey man, her team is definitely putting in a lot of effort, a lot of work. I think all 3 songs are bangers. I'm quite keen to actually see how they're gonna grow, especially in this music space where you'll hear a song today, but what's the longevity? What's the span? So I just want them to work a little bit harder with regards to the push of the songs, because I do think that all 3 of them actually have, some heat that they're working with,
Yeah, absolutely. Love the jams.
So that is us for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the POPcast. I hope you guys had, just taken in a little bit of the information that we had to share with you today. But of course, also enjoying the rest of the chats with myself and my main man, Boity.
Absolutely. As we head into the ladies' month, you guys can look forward to a few episodes of Pop Radio over the next couple of weeks. But don't worry, POPcast will be right back. We're just going to give you a little something different, Nyana.
Yeah.
For myself, Moochie, I'm easy.
Yeah, man. Check you again next week, same time, same place. This is the POPcast. Please make sure that you comment, subscribe, like, share, join in, do everything. And of course, tag those Content Creator Awards and tell them you want us to win, because you guys are supporting us and that's why we got nominated. So please keep on giving us a shout out. Thank you so much. See you next week.